Hello people, today I have with us the Iron-Blooded Orphans Mobile Suit Gundam High Grade 144 scale Rouei. This one is a mobile suit from the first season of the Iron-Blooded Orphans series. It was piloted both by Lafter and by Azee. So if you remember that series, or if you haven't watched it, that's fine. I will go ahead and read the write-ups for him in a little bit. But there was a scene where the turbines ended up helping the Iron-Blooded Orphans, or Tekkadan, and they wanted to keep the identity of the mobile suits aiding them a secret. So they actually disguised the Hyakurin, which Lafter, not Lafter, Azee and Amida were using. She actually has a custom version of the Hyakurin in different colors. Not that the colors matter too much, but still, you know, it's a custom unit, so it's a little bit slightly different. When I built them, I didn't notice anything different. But either way, there is a write-up for these, so I'll go ahead and read that. This one says, Rouei was originally conceived as a retrofit armament for the Hyakurin, and the development department at Teiwaz promoted trial production. When the Tekkadan first descended to Earth, Azee Turbine sent it out into battle as support without revealing the names of Teiwaz or the turbines. This machine was piloted by both Lafter Franklin and Azee and ended up leaving remarkable ground war data. Based on that data, efforts were made to lighten the armor. Rouei was later officially adopted as the new machine body that emphasized mobility and is now in process of mass production. Recently, I did a review of the IO frames, and the IO frames are actually based on this one here. That is what I mentioned, the lightening of the armor and how that all works. So the Ryusei Go that I reviewed before is related to this unit here. But this being an Iron-Blooded Orphans kit, I wanted to show off some of the features that it has. It does have a remarkable resemblance to the Hyakurin, so you won't be fooled if you're a fan of the show and say, oh, that's definitely not the Teiwaz looking mobile suits. But if you aren't, it just looks like a blue version of the Hyakurin that we already have. Looks like it's a little bit more heavy duty, a little bit heavily armored from those the trunk down, and some big heavy thrusters for use in atmosphere. Let's go ahead and go into the articulation. So first off, we have the head and neck. There's two ball joints in there. This is a very typical of the Iron-Blooded Orphan series. You usually have the two ball joints put together, and you can see how functional that is. There we go. Moving to the back, we have an articulation point at the backpack, which allows you to move that back and forth and up and down at this point, as well as opening this one here. So quite a lot on these backpack thrusters. Going into the shoulders here and the arms, the unit inside here does move in and out just a bit, as you see here. And because it is on a ball joint, you can move that quite freely. They did limit you with this guard here so that it does press against there sometimes. On the shoulder, this whole thing moves as one unit, so you use the ball joint pretty extensively when moving to articulate the shoulder. Down here at the arm, you want to use this for a rotation. Double jointed elbow, which is something we haven't seen in a while in all the kits that I've been doing. So that's pretty cool. And ball jointed hand. This one's very tight compared to the other Iron-Blooded Orphans kits that I have been doing in the past, and I am liking it. Very nicely done. In the abdomen, there is a ball joint to the waist, but there's also a ball joint set inside here that's kind of wasted because everything on here is put together so tightly. And there was some articulation to it, but you lose it when you put everything together. Kind of sad, but it's all right. Moving to the hips. The hips are on a captured polycap here with the C clip, the C connector, but that C connector is pretty tightly on there along with the armor, so it holds on very tight. You also get a little flap here on the booty, and that actually holds one of the weapons, which seems to have come off. I did put it on there, and I don't know where it went. Down at the crotch, you have a pretty cool swivel on that on the hips that moves up and down quite a lot. They did put a peg here to stop you from moving it too far across the way, but the joint at the hip here is pretty free, and you can move that quite a lot. It is a polycap inside here that's mounted to that, so you can move it up and back as you'd like, and out, of course. There is a rotation at this hip, and there is a nice double jointed knee. So you see this one moves down just a bit. That moves the armor as well, so you can see that on an under armor. And there is a rotation here inside that section. There is a polycap inside the bottom of the leg. This one here is captured in place, so you aren't going to be able to move it. Down here, there's a pretty sophisticated system that holds the foot in place. Polycap at the top holds this section here in place. This one here is on a pivot. You can move that backwards and forwards. Polycap inside here lets you move that back and forth like this, and you can also push it forward and pull it out just a bit. I would not do that because you might damage that polycap, and just leave that in place. And before I go into the size comparison, let me show you what else this came with. It came with quite a bit here because this is based on the Hyakron. It gave you the weapons for that as well. This is the weapon this comes with, or one of them. It also comes with a really substantial mace. I like this one a lot. It's kind of basic, but it's very heavy, and I like it. It can be held very easily, and it looks great with it on. It also holds into that little thing here on that slot in the back, but apparently that isn't as secure as I thought it was. All of the weapons actually have that as well. You can see it there. It also comes with a rifle from the Hyakron and the sword from the Hyakron, which is right here. So you are able to equip those there on the Rouei. And it comes with the knuckle guards from the Hyakron as well. So if you wanted to, you could equip it with knuckle guards. Those normally go on the skirt as well for the Hyakron, but because this one doesn't have that skirt, they're left off. So too are the weapons, but that's how it goes. There's also these sections here, which were on the back of the arms here, if I recall correctly. And yeah, that is, I mean, it comes with a lot, so it's pretty cool. Now for size comparison, here is the RX-782 GBN base Gundam in high grade 1144 scale. Here is the Alto Commando type from 30-minute missions, also in 1144. And as an aside, I will mention, this is a lot of ways compatible with this one here. There's a lot of the joints that will be swappable if you wanted to do that. A lot of the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits can be swapped into the 30-minute mission stuff. In 1/100 scale, here is the Frame Arms Jinrai. Here is the Frame Arms Architect. As you see, she is taller than the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans kit. It's pretty normal for these girl kits to be pretty tall. The Hex Gear Governor, this one is Nero, and he is in 1/24 scale. I wish I had the Barbados in Master Grade, but I do have the Alex Gundam in Master Grade, and here he is standing beside the Rouei. So all in all, I think we have a really nice package in a high-grade piece. This one is one of those model kits that it's for a background character, so it's not terribly important on screen. It does show that, you know, that they had help during this particular time period in the show. So I think it was rather important to have these ones here. and to have it represented in a model kit is really cool. This one is number 32, which means they did come out with quite a lot of these model kits. I happen to like the Teiwaz look. They have a really neat aesthetic. It's bulkier than the Barbados, the Gundams that came out in this series. I like the way the ribs are covered and the way the hips are guarded. It makes a lot more sense than the pencil type or wasp waist that you see on the Gundams. That said, I still think those look cool. They look really cool. Maybe not so practical, but really cool. This one is definitely a winner in terms of looks, for me anyway. And I think this one in price is even better. I bought it for $15 and I bought it just this year. So it's not like it's gone up in price. It had been repainted, so it was easily obtainable, at least for a short while. And personally, I'm really glad I have it. I really like this unit. I like the characters that pilot it, and I like the Teiwaz look. So it's something that I wanted to have to complete my collection. So yeah, I do hope to bring more of these out and show you guys what they look like. I think the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits are really cool. I need to get back into purchasing them, finding them, and getting them in my collection, because I do really like these. I also have quite a few of them in my collection that I can bring out to review. That's probably something I should do sometime soon. You guys can hopefully see those in the future. But like I said, this one is rather cheap and rather easy to build, really fun. It was a cool departure from the normal Gundam look, and I hope that if you guys get one, you like it. And yeah, I did use quite a few of the stickers on here. The gold on the eyes, these little yellow things on here, those are all stickers. Everything that came in here was either blue or that gray, the dark gray underneath, or the black. So there's no yellow on this one at all. Still, it was quite a nice kit to build. Regardless, the stickers only adding just a little bit of flair. Something I probably should have painted, but you know, it's what it is. But with all my opinions out of the way, I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys get one for yourself. It is definitely one that I recommend, especially at the price. Only $15? You gotta be kidding me. So be on the lookout for this guy. Really cool looking mobile suit, and from a really cool faction, Iron-Blooded Orphans series. I think that's it for tonight. I think I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.